Yeah.
And I'd much rather eat a homemade pizza, but
I'd much rather make. Is that your guys' setup? You take turns cooking? How do you divide the house tasks?
Well, I told you I'm a far right extremist. I get home and I'm like, "Where's my dinner?"
My brother, I grew up in rural Alberta, so like even me being like pretty left wing, even like running NDP, was like pretty outside of like my normal family life.
You kind of black sheeped yourself.
My brother, like for real, when he got married, said that to his wife.
Where's my dinner?
He said, "All I want is a wife that will give me a reasonable meal at a reasonable time."
I've said that a million times. What are you talking about? That's completely normative.
That's crazy.
That is the way it works, Dustin.
Are you joking?
No. Listen.
So this is what just happened. I said, "Hey, my brother said this crazy thing." And you're like, "Yeah, of course he did."
And I'm like, "Well, he's a traditionalist, of course." Like that's cheaper. That's the way things ran for thousands of years.
Yeah.
No, I think that there's two ways to go about it, right? There's you and I are going to tag team finance, and then we're also going to tag team the home duties, which is like cooking and cleaning. Traditionally, you would
what
chop
most people
things
do,
down
right?
the middle, and I'll handle these financial aspects, and you handle these like more home based.
That was what they did. Around here 20 years ago.
And in my opinion, there's nothing hateful about that. There's nothing like, I hate you, so I'm going to keep you. Like, there's nothing wrong, in my opinion, about choosing, especially if she wants to do it like that, and I wanted to, like.
Oh, listen, sure.
I've done nothing in this podcast other than bitch about having to go to work, right? Like, I friggin' hate working, especially like these long jobs that I hate doing, but I do it because we need to pay these bills and stuff. And like, it doesn't mean that she doesn't make money herself. Like, she can crochet a bunch of toques and sell them on Facebook, or she can like do some babysitting during the week and make some money like that.
She doesn't work. She
doesn't have a job,
right?
And
can she work here?
Not legally, but I think that's kind of the way. Like, even if she could legally work here, and things change. Like I was saying before, like we swing this way for a few years, and maybe I swing back this way. But I like the more traditional sense of like
sure. And there's nothing wrong with any lifestyle if it's what people want, right? So it's like
now
people
if
are
she
into
wanted to go and work, and I was like,
and you were like,
no,
home,
bitch.
That's
completely different.
That's a different thing, right?
Yeah,
I mean that's a tough thing with like my sister, like my family's very, I guess what you're saying, traditionalist, right?
Yeah.
But also my family has like super strong women in it. Yeah. Like it's this interesting mix. So my mom is very.
You mean like physically strong? They go to the gym all the time.
That too. Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
Making a joke, but all right.
So yeah, my sister's beat up a couple guys. Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah. Actually, my sister saved my ass a few times too. So I guess I should.
So it's an interesting mix because they're very they're very and I guess my older sister, the one that's like really strong personality and strong physically, she probably isn't that right wing. She's more on the left. But anyways, so even though my family is very traditionalist, I have one sister that's super not strong personality. She's a peacemaker, and she just married a guy that really wants to be the head of the household and really wants to be, which everyone in my family really hates.
So they don't like that?
They don't like that.
But they don't like. So your family likes to straddle the middle, or?
Well, just in that aspect, it's like they're very conservative, very right wing, and they might have, like, my mom was a stay-at-home mom her whole life, so they might have but also very strong women at the same time too. Except for my one sister. So my mom's very strong. My other sister's very strong. But then my one sister, it is like my whole family is super strong personalities. Like all of them, it's like the dinner table is loud. All of us except for my one sister.
And she's very
quiet. We'll get in arguments about stuff and we're not taking anything personally, and then she'll burst out crying. But anyways, but she always wanted to have a man over her. That she always wanted that.
Yeah.
And now she does have it. Everyone else, she seems to be fine with it.
Yeah.
He seems to be fine with it. All the rest of us are like, don't really like it, to be honest. I don't even really like it, but I'm also like, you got to be free to be you.
Now, if this was 50 years ago, there would probably be no problem. Is this because nowadays in 2019, which is when we're filming this podcast, if you're listening to it in the future, that everybody's a little bit more woke? And is that kind of why? Or is it because
I don't care about, like, I say I'm more left, but like, honestly, it's all about people. So it's like, I don't really care too much about agendas, but like, but I do care about my sister, and I do worry about her being taken advantage of.
So it's,
but also it's like,
but
I don't even know if she knows what she wants, So it's
now,
that whole thing of like,
when I hear you explaining that, I just hear somebody that's like, I'm a woman. I want to be taken care of. I want a strong man to do all these, look over these finances and stuff. And then she got what she wanted and she's happy with it. Yeah. And to me, I'm like, awesome.
Yeah. But he's not like you though. He's all these rules and like, and it's, I don't know. It's like,
are the rules like, I'd like to eat around 6, or are the rules like on Tuesday we eat veal?
The rules are like,
now, I guess those are too far away from each other.
They just had a kid, and they're like, family isn't allowed to come see the kid for a week.
Oh.
Or you're only allowed to see your family this much and stuff like that.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah. It's pretty controlling. Right. But also she loves it, so it's really difficult to know what to do.
But it's just like what we were talking about before. Like, if that's what they want, what are you going to go and change something that they're happy with?
Yeah, it's tough because it's like he has a lot of them, but also he's just he never listens to this, but also he's kind of a weird guy, right? Yeah. Like he was telling us a story about like he went to this Easter thing and all the kids are looking for candy and he really likes Tootsie Rolls. Mm-hmm. So he went and all this candy was hidden around this yard. Mm-hmm. He went and found all the Tootsie Rolls and kept them. And he was like, so it's like a bunch of kids and him. So it's just like, to eat. So it's just kind of like, the whole thing about
what
like,
a weirdo.
If a woman wants to stay home and then the man wants to go and do the work.
Yeah.
Like you need to be free to do whatever you want. I feel like the definition of feminism is changing so much today, but honestly, like what it should be is you're allowed to do whatever you want. That's what it should be.
Well,
whether it's staying in the home or going.
I'm going to keep my lips shut right now because if I said what I actually thought about all this, there's going to be a whole lot of people that aren't going to like me anymore. Not that they like me now, but they would like go out of their way to hate me.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, but you don't. But I can see your face. You're not really digging on this situation with my sister.
I didn't like the Tootsie Rolls. That was like those candies were for the kids.
So
that's the whole story about you telling me about how he has these rules and the blah 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 and she can't see your family, and then the Tootsie Rolls. I'm mad about those Tootsie Rolls. I'm like, man, he couldn't have like just taken a couple for himself. Like he had to get all the Tootsie Rolls.
Yeah.
The other stuff, that's
the thing is this is where I always get in trouble.
Yeah.
Too. You probably get in trouble with things you say. I always get in trouble because it's like I'm super, like you and I disagree on a lot, but I wouldn't feel like I have a responsibility to make you think the way I think or anything like that. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like there'll be some people listening to this podcast and they'll be like, he didn't take him to task.
Yeah.
He didn't shit on him. And for me, it's just like, well, I don't think that's my responsibility. Also, I don't think, and here's a tough one too. I don't think that what makes us moral, decent human beings is clubs we belong to, political beliefs we have, or anything like that. I believe it's truly what you do. So when I see, obviously with the last Canadian election, there was a big, I don't really want to get into the topic, but there's a big thing on like immigration, right? I'm obviously like really open to immigration. Me and my friends just sponsored a family from Liberia to come here to Moose Jaw. And I think immigration makes the country stronger. And then there's like people who didn't. But here's the thing. When I was putting together my sponsor team to bring in, and we don't get to know anything about them. We don't know if they're Muslim. We don't know if they're Christian. We don't know anything. They ended up being like very Pentecostal Christians, actually. But
lucked out there.
They love Benny Hinn. It's crazy.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
yeah, they're like in love with Benny Hinn. I'm just, like, you're kind of like, oh, do you tell him he's a scam artist? But anyways, because they love him, and you're like,
they're good-hearted people.
They're so good.
Yeah,
some of the best
good.
people. Yeah,
that's good.
But anyway, so
but Benny
when I'm putting together this group, so everyone's beaking off on. During the election, everyone's beaking off on Facebook about what their views on immigration are. But when I'm putting together a group to sponsor a family to come here to literally save their lives from like mass rape and assault, do you think it's all left people that joined my group?
Wait. So you said you're constructing a group on Facebook?
No. So when you sponsor a group, you need to put together a team. You need to put together a team, someone who's going to help them get into the schools and register them. Someone who's going to take them all their doctor's visits.
Yeah.
Someone who's going to just help them socially. Someone who's going to help them with all their bank stuff. And then so for a year we are like actually like legally responsible for them.
Yeah.
So
you're asking me, and you can tick off all these things about me.
So,
like one, I'm literally going through the immigration process right now.
Sure, yeah.
For my girlfriend to get her to come to Canada.
Yeah.
Two, like I'm also going through the immigration process of getting myself legally to be like a Mexican, which is like hilarious, right? Number three, I'm someone that if I got in an argument about Donald Trump, I would be on the side that most of the people listening to this wouldn't be on.
No. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Four,
sure.
I'm a Christian. And a lot of people say like, well, if you're a Christian, you should be very like mighty neighborly, and like open your door and be, like, come on in, there's enough food for everybody.
Right.
And then like, there's a lot of different things on my list. You're asking me if you're constructing a group of, I just want to like paint.
So there was 10 of us. Yeah. What percentage do you think? Every one of them, I could tell you they're left or they're right.
Oh, yeah.
I know where they stand politically.
Yeah.
What do you think the percentage is, left or right?
95.
95 what?
Oh, like 90. I guess there's 10 people.
90.
So like 90.
90% what? Left
liberal.
No, it's about half. Half and half.
Okay.